What's up YouTube, this is GroudonEmpire, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the next game that I had in an OU Wi-Fi tournament that I had just a couple of weeks ago. And as you can see, my opponent, his name is Sora, or her name, I don't know his or her gender, I think it's a he. His name is Sora, and I don't know his Twitter or anything, but I did tell this player to check the channel out. So if you are a subscriber, which I hope you did subscribe, definitely let the people know in the comment section that this was you who ended up in the battle. Now this battle, as you can see, my opponent was bringing a rather UU team. That Slowbro is not UU, but every other Pokemon is UU or below. Basically, that Dusknoir is like NU or something, I don't even know, but everything else is like UU except for the Slowbro. And for this game, when I first saw my opponent's team, I was thinking, what should I do? You know, I was thinking, okay, first, should I start off with the Beedrill? And then I was like, no, I shouldn't start off with Beedrill because it's our Manatan lead. It might be scarfed, and I can't. Even after Mega Evolving, it's gonna destroy me. So I decided to start off with my Landorus. And you'll see that I did end up starting off with the Landorus, and without any further ado, I'm just going to press the play button. Remember to smash the hell out of that like button if you are hyped for these OU battles and you want to see more of that. Remember to follow me on Twitter if you want to have battles versus me, such as this. And my opponent starts off with the Darmanitan, as I did predict. First turn, I just go for like Stealth Rock because I know he's gonna U-turn. If I end up not going for Stealth Rock, I will be very surprised. But I'm pretty sure I went for a Stealth Rock because it is my best play. Like, I get rocks for free because my opponent's gonna switch out. I know that, and I do go for the Stealth Rock, as you guys can see. My opponent goes out into the Rotom Heat. At this point, I feel like I should knock this thing off, because he can't really do anything to me. So I knock him off, and he loses his. He doesn't have an item. Wow, he doesn't have an item, as I just saw. I think none of his Pokemon had items, if I remember correctly. That's a strange. Okay, yeah, but that happened, and he went for a Will-O-Wisp. It missed. I don't know how much that would have mattered anyway, though. And then I just go for a U-turn, go out into my Rotom. What the hell? No, I go out into my Starmie. And Starmie, I can just go for an Analytic Hydro Pump, and that would do big damage to any and everything that were to come in. So go for an Analytic Hydro Pump. Let's see how much damage that does. That should do massive damage to the Dusknoir. So how much damage will it do? Because even if we went out into Slowbro, it's Cloyster, they still take a good amount of damage. Hydro Pump did miss, so the Will-O-Wisp miss plus the Hydro Pump miss. It equaled out, right? The hacks equaled out, so it's fine. And I do get hit by my burn. I switch out right now into my Weavile, because Weavile walls Dusknoir, unless he has a fighting type move. And you know, nobody uses Dusknoir, so I didn't expect anything to be happening. He does go for the Will-O-Wisp, and he does land, so that was a nice prediction on my opponent's part if he did predict that. And I'm pretty sure he did predict something like that, because really, who would stay in with a with the Starmie on a Dusknoir? And I'm gonna go for a knockoff. It does a lot of damage. I'm life orbed even with after the burn. As you can see, it does over half. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep on knocking off at this point, because all I need is for Dusknoir. Goes for a Confuse Ray, so I'm very annoyed at this point. I just need Dusknoir to be in range to faint to another one of my Pokemon. So I stay in with the Weavile because I don't need Weavile for anything else. I can just constantly go for knockoffs until I faint. So that's what I keep on doing. So you're going to keep on seeing this. I'm going to keep on knocking off the Dusknoir until I go down or my opponent goes down, whatever happens first. Or we both go down in the same turn, given I might have Life or Recoil plus Burn, and I do kill it with the knockoff. So we'll see what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of turns to end up like this. I'm confused, and I don't hit myself, so that's nice. I'm not getting hacked out right now with the confusion. Did my opponent faint? My opponent survived with a little bit of health, and I end up fainting to the burn and Life Orb Recoil. And what can happen right now is I go into Beedrill, I just Mega Evolve, and I go for a Poison Jab. Because I can. You know, it's a free Mega Evolve for me, and I can just go for a Poison Jab. I don't have to go for a U-turn, so I'm not going to go for a U-turn. My opponent does go for the Shadow Sneak, and that's nice and all, but it's not going to even do half, so I'm alright. I go for a Poison Jab because if he switches out into anything, he does massive damage, and also after I kill off the Dust Noir, I can Poison Jab anything else that my opponent goes out into, or I can at least force my opponent to go out into Darmanitan, and then I can just manual out into my Landorus, which would be great. I do go for Protect to see what my opponent is going to end up doing. He goes for a Rock Slide, and I switch out into, I believe I end up switching on to Landorus regardless. Yep, I end up switching on to Landorus because maybe he doesn't have items. I don't know. I can't remember if he had items or not. I really can't. Or maybe his Rotom was the only Pokemon that didn't have item. I don't remember. I really don't. But I go out into my Landorus, and as you can see, that Rock Slide did nothing. Nothing at all. And I recover a good amount of health back, and my opponent just took 25% damage from the Stealth Rock, so I'm in good shape. I have initiative, and right now I go for an Earthquake because I want to kill off the Darmanitan, so Beedrill can be free to do whatever I can do. You know, that's why I use Earthquake. Or actually, no, I don't. I go for a U-turn. That's interesting. Okay, you know what? I guess I went for the U-turn instead of the Earthquake because it's obvious that he would go out into Slowbro, and I U-turn because I want to do that super effective damage and switch out at the same time and go out into something else. I mean, I didn't have to do that. I can go for an Earthquake and then go out into Magnezone next turn and then go for Thunderbolt or Volt Switch. It's alright, but it's whatever. Who cares? My opponent switches out into the Rotom Heat, takes Rocks damage, and I just go for Volt Switch because I predicted Switch. And even if there was no Switch, Specs, Volt Switch does massive damage to a Slowbro. And at this point, I can just switch out into my Beedrill and I can just Poison Jab anything that wants to come in or stay in. KO this thing, and this is really how you should be using Beedrill, you know? You want to U-turn in and out, and when things, you feel like you can kill things off or do big damage to something and not get bodied, like walled by an immunity or resistance or whatever, just Poison Jab, alright? Just Poison Jab. Especially if there are no Steel types on the team. If there are Steel types, you can just U-turn. If there are no Steel types, you can just Poison Jab. So it's always, well, yeah, you can just Poison Jab because if you get Poison, you can just Protect on them and then you can U-turn out next turn. Versus Slowbro, I just U-turn, and as you can see, Mega Slowbro has massive defense, right? So that didn't kill it, but it did do a lot of damage. So I U-turn out into Magnezone because again, it cannot do anything to my Magnezone, and I can kill it off with the Specs boosted anything. And this turn I'm just going to go out for a Volt Switch because again, he cannot touch me. I mean, he's going to switch out. And whatever he switches out into, I do massive damage versus. So it's only in my favor if I end up Volt Switching. So Volt Turning, that's the way you want to use Mega Beedrill. All day, every day. Preferably. Except for Battle Spot Single, I mean, that format is not too kind to Volt Turning unless you have like the best of the best Pokemon in the world, which... You know, it's very specific. You know, Landorus plus like Zapdos or something, or Thundurus. It's pretty crazy. You know, not something like Beedrill. Anyways, this turn I go out into Talonflame from my Volt Switch because I can just Brave Bird, and I'll do big damage to anything. At this point, I sweep his entire team at this point. You know, Cloyster is 2-hit KO after Rocks. If he sacked off the Trevenant and then went into Cloyster, that would have been his better play. But it's whatever. He might even be one-hit KO'd from a banded Brave Bird, but he isn't because Cloyster has that massive base 180 defense or something, so he survived. But yeah, I think my opponent should have sacked off the Trevenant and then went on to Cloyster. But really, I think at this point it was good game because I can just Brave Bird. You know, even if he set up with the Cloyster, like later down the line, I could have just came on with Talonflame and just Brave Birded the Cloyster gone anyway. And Slowbro is in range of Brave Bird as well. And it's just my opponent was pretty much done at this point. So it's a good game to my opponent. My opponent did want to replay a rematch with me, but I'm really busy doing OU battles. I need to make a lot of time to do Smogon OU battles, or any battles for that matter. So really, like, you should follow me on Twitter if you want me to start doing more regular Smogon battles, and if you guys want to be featured on YouTube's by battling me, definitely follow me on Twitter. And you know, it's the best, most convenient way for me to end up contacting you guys and organizing battles with you guys. Now, I'm also down for you guys to leave comments in the comment section to say you want to battle and whatnot. And if there's enough support, you know, the like button and views and just support, like in general, whatever kind of support you can show, you know, bringing in more people, telling people about these videos that you're on YouTube and whatnot, blah blah, and you leave comments, then I can probably end up doing more and more battles like this. it's hard to, like, on YouTube, because most people don't respond right away. Whereas on Twitter, it's easily accessible to, like, right away respond to things. That's why YouTubers usually use Twitter to do their battles. But, you know, I can use YouTube as well. But definitely follow me on Twitter if you have a Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, make a Twitter for this. And again, you can also leave things down in the comments if you want me to battle you guys. Remember, if you were Sora, definitely tell people about this battle. You probably won't because it was a loss and whatnot, but I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. But yeah, hopefully one day we have a rematch, and next time it's actually a better game, because I know you did not like this game, and I could tell that you just hurried up and made like a random team because you were probably in a hurry or whatever. So hopefully next time if we ever get a chance to battle, you have a better team. So I do advance in this tournament. The next game, however, my opponent DC'd. So game 3 is actually not going to be game 3. It's going to be game 4. So heads up for you guys. If you've not watched game 1 of this tournament, definitely check that out. That's in the playlist. I'll probably make a playlist, put that link in the description to this little tournament. Also, you can just check the channel out. Subscribe to the channel for future battles and the other content. I mostly do BattleSpot single content. You know, I hit 1917 in X and Y, and so far my peak in that is 1800, 1795 or something. Spoiler alert for you guys who who are waiting for future episodes. I did not upload my peak, the peak that I had in BattleSpot single yet, because that's gonna happen later in February, the beginning of February or later in January. So have your eyes peeled for that. Definitely subscribe if you want to see that. This was GroudonEmpire. Peace out.